I'm Mike Maney, and I'm a strategist on Akamai's cloud team. As 2024 ends, we see the cloud world changing fast. Teams need better speed, they got to follow new rules, and they're seeing firsthand how AI impacts their world. So let me share with you where I think things are going to go. First, I think we'll see more distributed cloud systems pop up next to the big centralized data centers we use now. These distributed centers move computing power further to the edge, right where you need it, which helps companies comply with local rules, helps them tackle latency issues, and ultimately helps them deliver a better user experience. In 2025, more teams will use these distributed cloud architectures to rely less on faraway data centers. To win, firms are going to need to find ways to mix legacy, centralized cloud power with the scale and efficiency of the edge. And for telecom and networking providers, what this means is enhanced flexibility and the ability to deliver services with greater precision and greater speed. Next, AI is moving to the edge, closer to where things happen. While big AI systems will continue to still make news, the real breakthroughs in 2025 will come from putting AI where users are. For industries like telecommunications, where milliseconds matter, moving AI workloads to the edge ensures faster, more reliable decision making. Edge-based AI is set to transform how data is processed in real time, from optimizing network performance to enabling smarter IoT devices. Finally, 2025 will bring a surge in specialized tools and IT skills that are going to be tailored to multi-cloud and edge strategies. Because while these approaches offer significant benefits, they also introduce new complexities, such as managing diverse APIs, ensuring operability, and then maintaining security across systems. In response, we'll see an influx of tools designed to streamline these processes, and probably a renewed focus on training IT teams to adapt to the nuances of a more distributed cloud. Networking professionals, in particular, will play a critical role in enabling seamless communication between these interconnected systems. 2025 presents a pivotal moment for cloud and for networking. Businesses that embrace these changes, leveraging distributed cloud models, deploying AI at the edge, upskilling their teams, will be at the forefront of innovation and gain a competitive advantage.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good morning here, at least right now, as we're recording. I'm Aaron Shaha. I'm the Chief of Threat Research and Intelligence at BlackPoint Cyber. We're an MDR company focusing on MSPs, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the future trends that we're seeing coming up in 2025. And I'm going to kind of pull a thread on something that's emerging late in 2024, and I think it's going to accelerate and tie into 2025. And we're going to deep dive a little bit on this, right? So as everybody's aware, AI has had a pretty profound impact over the last couple of years in the world. And I'm not personally a believer in we're going to see Jarvis level AI technology. However, we're seeing some really interesting trends. And I think there's some things that could come up in the cybersecurity industry. Obviously AI is very good right now at automating routine tasks, amplifying the efficiency in cybersecurity, and that applies to both the defenders and the attackers. And one of the attacks we're seeing a lot of, and it's really accelerated recently, is the rise in credential-based attacks or identity-based attacks, right? Stealing passwords, password dumps, malware that comes into a network and exfiltrates data that the actor pulls out. So think Change Healthcare, things like that pulling out lots and lots of data. And attackers are increasingly using credentials because it's really a quick, effective hack over a complex or expensive attack, right? If you have a zero-day exploit, you're not going to want to burn that when you could just log in with stolen credentials, right? And we're now starting to see info stealers come in. These are very lightweight pieces of malware that inject into your browser usually, steal things like cookies, stored passwords, web history, things like that. That gives the adversary a lot of access to information. And now if we kind of bring these threads together, right, AI can help analyze and exploit that data to really amplify and serve as a force multiplier for the attacker. So the attacker can validate the information it's got, right? It can verify that it's real. It can consolidate information across multiple different data sets. And we all use social media, right? Just about everybody out there on the planet uses social media. Now we've got this public data out there in our own voice, right? Maybe videos like I'm doing right now, right? Attackers can go and craft that. And we're seeing AI not perfectly, but quite convincingly in some cases, be used to create video and audio. Now imagine taking all this information we've got from these info stealers, these AI attacks. Now we can start to create convincing phishing attacks, right? Instead of the cheesy, hey, it's the CEO text message, right? Go buy 15 gift cards. Maybe it's somebody that calls you, the CEO's voice, and also they mind your social media. And now it's like, hey, I'm Bob, the CEO. I saw your kids you're at the soccer game with your kids because you just posted that in his voice, right? Can you pick up some gift cards on the way back? Right now, it's a much more plausible and realistic, tailored attack against you. Right, so we're seeing some of these things that are converging. Are they going to happen? Very hard to tell. We're not quite sure, but we're really seeing these low-cost, disposable tools like these info stealers, and they're blending identity attacks with traditional hacking tactics. And these identity-based attacks are really being used to leverage attacks against corporate platforms like O365. So very simple attacks like mailbox forwarding, right? We run defeats on those all the time as we see somebody create a mailbox and then forward mail out of there. But there's also some very powerful aspects to O365 that's not well understood by the community and is very difficult to defend. Things like the graph inside Microsoft Office gives you a lot of access to certain portions of the hybrid cloud infrastructure and allows you to do things like exfiltrate data and gain persistence inside these networks. So the defensive challenges we're seeing in 2025, we have to adapt to these simple, impactful AI accelerated attacks. And we really want to focus on mitigation methods, especially from vendors for things like passkeys and hardware authentication inside our websites. These are non-trivial and somewhat, in some cases, expensive re-engineering and architectural builds, but I think it's something we're going to want to pay attention to as we go forward. Again, Aaron from BlackPoint Security, thank you.
One of the other predictions we made for 2025 was that the era of manual certificate management will come to an end. What does that mean, and why do we think that's going to be true? The issue is that certificate lifetimes for publicly trusted website certificates is going to be decreasing. We don't know exactly when that's going to happen, but we do know that it will continue to happen. Years ago, we had certificates valid for 5 years, then we had it decreased to 3 years, and lastly, they were decreased to 1 year. We expect that certificate validities will decrease even further, probably to 90 days and maybe even to 45 days. And that means that it's going to be impossible for organizations to manage these certificates manually. They're going to need to have automation in their environment. Automation means that certificates can be issued, revoked, and renewed without any human intervention. And this is going to be mandatory given that certificate lifetimes could be very, very short going forward. Automation is a key word for 2025, and we expect more and more organizations to roll this out as the reality of shortened certificate lifetimes becomes true.
Hi, I'm Dwayne McDaniel, Senior Security Developer Advocate at GitGuardian. Our prediction for 2025 is that non-human identities will come into focus as a major security and operational issue as CISOs and other executives move to make their enterprises more resilient. While the current focus of identity and access management is on the human side of things, the markets are beginning to recognize the magnitude of the risks that mismanaged machine identities and their long-lived access keys pose to the whole enterprise. This builds on the already accelerating shift we've seen from focusing on hardening network perimeters to one of zero-trust identity-based defenses that assume a breach is eventually inevitable. New approaches and budgets are needed to find better ways to manage the non-human identity lifecycle. We'll see a new breed of tooling emerge to address the observability needs around machine identity creation, permissioning, use, and eventual revocation at a global scale. This will be a challenging road to travel for enterprises with thousands of legacy code bases. Still, there is evidence that this shift has already begun in the largest organizations as the software world races to get ahead of the non-human identity crisis.
Hello, everyone, and a Happy New Year. My name is Anil Indraram, and I'm the head of data services for the InstaCluster business unit at NetApp. The new year has begun, and it's time for the crystal ball. I was debating around 3 to 4 predictions that were related, but decided that the best way would be to summarize all in one comprehensive prediction. So here it goes. My prediction for 2025 is Data 4.0 and the dawn of AI analytics, the new competitive divide. You might wonder, what is Data 4.0? Well, that is my way of tracking and grouping the progress in the world of data from the beginning till today. So, Data 1.0 was the technology from 1950 to 1985, the dawn of computer automation in the business world. Data 2.0 from 1985 to 2000 brought formal data practices to the forefront, establishing enterprise data warehouses, business intelligence, and other data domains as drivers of competitive advantages. Data 3.0 from 2000 to 2020 turned data into a disruptor, with new business models like Uber and Airbnb utilizing big data and real-time data analysis on all levels. But heading into 2025, we are at the dawn of Data 4.0 era, defined by enterprises incorporating AI ML into data and analytics practices. This is an inflection point in how businesses leverage data for decision making. Enterprises will quickly move away from the previous model where data was locked into IT silos and accessing it required lengthy formal processes. Instead, modern AI ML backed tools now allow analysts to simply ask conversational questions of their data to get immediate insights. The transformative opportunity of 2025 lies in automating the entire data supply chain from extraction to preparation to analysis. However, and this is crucial, the biggest challenge for many businesses pursuing these advantages won't just be technical, but cultural as well. Leaders need to carefully nurture trust and buy-in in new AI ML driven practices. So make the most of this moment. New data eras don't arrive every day. They don't even arrive every decade. 2025 will be a particularly crucial pivot point for enterprises, one that may shape their fates for years to come. Thank you.